Hello, my name is Sarah Hoag. This is my 6th audio-video journal, and today I'll be responding to prompt number 2, which requires me to reflect on a project I have previously done for my internship. My task with this project was to create a paragraph of copy to put in the description section of the Moose Jaw Men's Takashi Breakfast at Tiffany's t-shirt. Here we see the t-shirt featured on the Moose Jaw website. My primary audience for this project was Moose Jaw customers who are buying Moose Jaw brand products. The people who are interested in this shirt probably already have an affinity for the Moose Jaw brand, and they want to display their love of the brand by purchasing a t-shirt that represents Moose Jaw. These customers may already be familiar with Moose Jaw as a company. They know that Moose Jaw is self-described as the most fun outdoor retailer on the planet, and they have the expectation that the description for this shirt will demonstrate that quality. Another audience for this project was my manager. I turned this description directly into my manager through email. He would read this description before deciding whether or not it would go live on the Moose Jaw website. The first thing that I did with this project was look at other copy on the website because I wanted to get a feel for what type of rhetoric is already present on the site. In order to produce copy for the website, I needed to do some research to analyze what style of writing exists at Moose Jaw. The first thing I did worked somewhat well because I was able to fairly well grasp what MooseJaw.com's voice is like and what the customers expect to see on the website. However, I felt prepared to do this project. I discovered that I had much more to learn about the voice of MooseJaw.com because it is a very particular style of writing that I did not quite have enough familiarity with yet. This project was done on my first day at the company, so I had much more to learn about how the employees write and communicate to customers through MooseJaw.com. When the original response that I sent to my manager was not quite good enough, I spent more time racking my brain for ideas what to do. My manager's feedback on the original paragraph of copy was that it needed to be more strange and less retail. He told me to think as strange as you possibly can get. After receiving this feedback, I reflected on clues that my manager had given me. I also spent some time observing the behavior of my manager to try to analyze what type of copy that he would likely produce. I decided that my manager appeared to be an extremely outgoing, humorous, and larger-than-life personality. Although this personality is extremely unlike my own, I was able to take on his persona through my writing. I wrote in a few jokes that were in a similar style to jokes that I had previously heard from my manager. I discovered that writing humor is actually quite difficult. Moose Jaw has a very specific style of humor. It took me a few hours on my first day to get the hang of what types of writing were appropriate for the website and what were not. I would later learn that Moose Jaw uses quite a bit of sarcasm in addition to its deadpan humor. After much more exposure to the atmosphere of the company and observations of my very eccentric manager, I was able to take on that persona through my writing. The text of many of the descriptions is also conversational. It is not at all formal, which is the style of writing that I had become accustomed to writing with in school. Moose Jaw threw traditional writing rules out the window. The text did not have to be grammatically correct or even sensical. In fact, the more nonsensical my writing was, the more my manager seemed to like it. This was difficult for me to adapt to at first because it was the exact opposite of the traditional writing style that I had been taught to use in school. Back to the pancake t-shirt. I believe this project was successful for me because I was able to take cues from my analysis of the rhetoric and the behavior of my manager as well as from the already existing copy. And I used those clues to help me get a grasp on the voice and style of MooseJaw.com. I was better able to determine what type of writing the audience of Moose Jaw customers like to see. The text that I produced for this description is something that sounds as if I am just sitting on a couch at home having a nonchalant conversation with somebody. It is not a sales pitch. These qualities of my writing were very pleasing to my manager, as he responded in his characteristic lively and eccentric manner by jumping up out of his seat and exclaiming, "Sarah's killing it." This was the ultimate form of feedback that I would receive from him, and I felt very satisfied with the work I had done.